Stupid fucking kid. Move!
Calm down. It's a fucking game.
But he's blocking my progress. I'm trying to get to the fucking thing over there.
This is like 5 minutes in. If you can't get, you just need to figure this out. If you can't get past this part, then you're never gonna be able to play a real Zelda game.
If I were gonna figure something out, it'd be my life.
You should probably work on that too.
Am I wasting my time playing video games?
You're playing video games at someone else's house. At least you got out of the house.
Well, I should tell you something. My mom kicked me out, so would you mind if I stayed here for a while?
I think I'm going through a tunnel. Have you read this this X-Men Gold book?
Yes, I have.
That's good. I don't know what I think about it, man.
I know what I think about it. It's a comic book.
Yeah, that's true.
And there are comic book characters in it, and that's about it.
That is not about it. Like, first of all, this book was $5 fucking. I know you didn't have to deal with that because you just read it from me.
Right.
But I had to pay $5 fucking for this comic book. And quite frankly, I think $5 for a comic book is a little bit much.
I think that's what they call a ripoff, especially for this book, because like there's nothing much going on in it. Like,
I hear what you're saying, but like, okay, I haven't read any X-Men books since maybe the first 10 issues of All New X-Men when they brought the little cocksuckers back from the future or whatever, back from the past. And it lost me very early on. That book was extremely wordy. Like the first issue of that book, I pretty much might as well have read any one of these fucking novels back behind me. But this, it's starting to feel more like what the X-Men need to be to me.
And what's that to you?
About family and about like acceptance and like togetherness and...
Yeah, actually, yeah, like while reading that, I was actually thinking the same. Like, and actually, I would have preferred more of that. And I didn't really like the little action bullshit. Like,
I like the beginning. I like the beginning. I guess I disagree with you on that.
Like, I don't know, like 3 pages in and like already, like they're like, a building's gonna fall on us. And I was just like, oh, this is.
I don't know.
not
Like to me, that like I hear what you're saying, but I think this was only a little bit of the book. Like it's maybe like 6-7 pages or something. And then you immediately get to what I think is like the core concept of the X-Men. And that's that, you know, they deal with these people who innately hate them just for being born. Like that's...
Fucking recording something, man.
I fucking hate people.
I think the worst. Speaking of people,
these people are fucking terrible.
though, I don't know, like, I'm kind of tired of this mutant hate thing, like, the Marvel comics now, because, like...
I think this is a great time. I see where you're coming from, and, like, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have thought that was exactly the truth. But we're in a time where, like, the X-Men's core conceit is, like, actually relevant again.
Yeah, I can see that. I just mean, like, in this, like, world where, like, you have everything else and the X-Men. And I know that's, like, a point they bring up, but they never really do much with it. Like, they just mention, oh, what about the other people? And then nothing else. They're just like, well, we hate the mutants because they're born that way.
Yeah, I don't think, like, their logic is sound. Like, I don't get why you would hate the mutants specifically when they're really no different from everyone else.
Yeah, that's actually what, like, I really like about, X-Men being owned by Fox is that, like, it's its own separate universe, and it really should be because... You know, in the world where, like, everyone's normal except for these people who are just randomly born with, like, a superpower, then, yeah, I can see that. But, like,
yeah,
when you have a guy who, when he gets angry, he turns giant, green, and super strong, wants to destroy everything.
I would classify that as a mutant. If, like, I were just a random plebeian walking down the street and I saw a fucking Hulk, I would think he was a lot more scary than the fucking Cyclops guy who just had to wear glasses. Like...
Yeah, so, like, the entire menace to society thing, I think, is a little played out at this point. But, like, I think what, like, I really like about the X-Men are the relationship with each other. Like, the entire idea of, like, them all live, like, all of these, like, outcasts living in, like, one house, just, like, having to, like, bond with each other is, like, really interesting to me. And, like, we get a little bit of that in the book with them, like, playing baseball. Like, when I saw that after, like, the building collapsed, I was like, okay, I I can dig this.
I think what another part about them playing in the baseball field was when this fucking lawyer walks up to them and he's like, "Oh, you owe the city $18 million," and Kitty's like, "Huh, yikes." Maybe that wasn't like the smartest decision to place Xavier's school right in the middle of fucking, town square or whatever the fuck, Central Park.
Yeah. And also, like, I haven't read comic books in a while, so reading this and like them like going like, oh, the Xavier Mansion teleported in Central Park and like the war against the Inhumans and like a bunch of other shows, like.
Yeah, I think they actually like. You didn't read X-Men Prime, did you?
No.
I think that book set up this book and X-Men Blue, and I think it actually did a really good job of getting people who don't know everything about the X-Men to understand enough of what you need to know in order to understand these books.
Oh, okay.
Because it tells you kind of what happened with the Inhumans versus the X-Men. It tells you why Storm doesn't really feel like she should be the leader anymore. It tells you where Kitty's been. It tells you, like, I had no idea that Colossus and Kitty Pryde had a thing.
Yeah, I think that was like,
I'm not 40.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't read Uncanny X-Men in fucking 1912.
Mm-hmm.
But they do a good job, like, in, like, one page in X-Men Prime, they just do a really good job of telling you, hey, they have a thing, So, I don't know. I think X-Men Prime did a good job of setting me up for this. And then this did a good job of getting me into the story. But, I don't know. Like, I really liked I opened this book when I was in the comic book store. And I saw that first page.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I really fucking like this art.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I really hate the fucking Jews.
No, I'm not the artist. But I thought the way he drew Kitty Pryde was like on 10,
Yeah, I like the way she's designed as well. Like,
I like that she's still like an X-Men.
Yeah, she still looks like a person without being like overly sexualized.
Yeah. Sometimes she even looks like a fucking guy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that.
But that's an issue with the artist, I think. Like, he is sort of inconsistent, because this page is fucking beautiful to me. It's one of the better comic book pages I've read this year. Or, like, one of the better pages of art I've seen this year. And then sometimes you see Kitty and, like, it's just like, what is that?
Yeah. And, like, there's a little panel, I think the next page, or... Yeah, this face. What is going on there?
I don't know. But, I don't know, man. What do you... I guess we're going to talk about the art. What do you... You heard about all the controversy.
Oh, yeah.
With the artist being...
Yeah.
Anti-Semitic.
Mm-hmm. And you can actually see one of the pages where he wrote 212 in the background.
Yeah. Right here. He just wrote 212 and jewelry right next to Kitty Pryde. Like,
yeah, honestly, I'm kind of surprised he didn't draw like Kitty Pryde with like a huge nose and like phasing out of a bank with like comically large money bags.
I can't, like, I don't think this would be offensive at all if it weren't for the fact that it was in the X-Men book. Yeah.
And especially since like Kitty Pryde is Jewish herself.
Exactly. Like, it was just like, wow. Like, you just really had to do that, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I was in the comic book store and I asked Troy what he thought about it, and he seemed to think like, this wouldn't have been a thing if it weren't for the fact that people made it a thing. And it's like, yeah, that's true, but people made it a thing and now it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was reading this and I saw Colossus's shirt and it said like QS551 or whatever, and I was like, I don't know, is that something that Colossus wears often? I don't give a shit. So I kept reading, but then you point out that that's actually a scripture from the Quran, and you're like, oh, well, can't really agree with you on that one, man. It's not really an artistic choice anymore. I mean, I get it is an artistic choice that cost him his career. Because, he got, he's blacklisted.
Yeah, like, I know, like, the next two issues are still being, like, his art's still on that one, but,
they're probably checking those things fucking thoroughly right now, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that shit got through, but that just, honestly, to me, that just goes to show how little Marvel editorial really is, like, looking for shit.
Better not put this in.
It just goes to show how little Marvel editorial is really doing in their job.
Yeah, they're probably just like, all right, be sure to put these characters in. Oh, Old Man Logan. Yeah, that Logan movie's really taking off.
Like, I think especially, like, it just maybe goes to show, like, they don't really give a shit about the X-Men. Because, I don't know, maybe you just never expect anyone to do something like that, but at the same time, it's like, this is the X-Men, and, like, you should probably be on the lookout for things like that to some degree. I don't know. I feel like you can't blame editorial too much, but at the same time, it's like, editorial makes so many mistakes when it comes to their stories, and, like, they've been trying to kill the X-Men, seemingly, for years now.
And also, these things are like really subtle. Like, if I were just reading this and I saw like 212 or Q at whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even think twice. I just thought like the artist is just trying to fill in space.
Yeah.
I can't really blame the Marvel editorial because, like, you know, you wouldn't know what 212 or whatever that means because unless like you know about that subject.
Sure. That's what Troy was trying to say. Like you don't read this unless you know the Quran and understand that this is bigoted against Jews or whatever.
Yeah.
But once people pointed that out, like, the guy needed to get punished.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't
And
know.
it's really weird, like at Marvel too, where like the most well-known like comic book name himself, like, you know, Stan Lee is Jewish.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah, he changed his name from Lieberman to Jew. I mean,
Oh my god!
no, I was thinking.
Oh my god!
No, here's what I was. Okay,
He
changed
changed his name from Lieberman
No.
to Jew.
No, okay, because like,
Wow.
you know, he knew like if you put Stan Lieberman on the cover of like Marvel Comics, like, you know, if you put that on Spider-Man,
So instead
people,
you figured, let's just put Jew.
no, like people look at that and be like, oh, Jew.
I don't think people weren't putting their names on comic books back then.
Yeah, he was like the first to do it, and
Oh, because he was like, okay.
yeah, and like, you know, people were like, oh, Lieberman, you know, they wouldn't have bought the book.
Right. Huh.
Though I think him changing his name to Jew was a real strong move.
I don't know. Overall, I think this was a great place to jump on for the X-Men, for me. Like, I haven't been reading X-Men. I've been wanting to read the X-Men recently. I picked up, like, some X-Men God Loves Man Kills, which was actually the first time, what's that fucking guy, Stryker, was introduced into the comics. Yeah, that was really interesting. And, like, just, I don't know, I've been in a real X-Men mood. I think the climate in the political and social landscape has really gotten me into, like, wanting to read something that kind of echoes that. So I think this was a really good place to start.
I don't know about that because, like, everything in it, like, you kind of have to know about something else that happened previously. You know, like, when I read the what's his name? Colossus and Kitty Pryde, you know, she's like, I'll always love you, but I've moved on. I want to know why.
Then I definitely think maybe you should have read X-Men Prime before that, because a lot of the shit that's in this that you did need to know, they sort of set up in X-Men Prime.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe if you read X-Men Prime and X-Men Gold, it would be a good place to start. I guess X-Men Prime is the great place to start. X-Men Gold from there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And overall, I'm really excited to be able to sell this book in a few years for like $100 or something.
You think so?
Dog, people were really looking to, like, buy up this thing. I mean, like, to a degree, I think they probably sold way too many copies for it to be worth anything in reality, but this is a legitimate controversy, you know?
Yeah, I can see.
It's a serious
like,
misprint.
Yeah, like the reprints are not going to include those.
Yeah, the reprints don't include it. The online, they removed that art from it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they did it's gone essentially from the planet, with the exception of these books.
Huh.
Of which I have one.
Yeah, that actually could be really interesting.
We'll see where it goes, man.
With this comic book, I feel like I kind of want to see more of it, though this didn't really impress me.
I see where you're coming from.
Like, and the only reason I say that is because I already kind of like the X-Men. Though, I mean, these aren't my X-Men. You know?
I'm interested in this team, though. Like, I really thought the prospect of Kitty Pryde being the leader of the X-Men was interesting. And I think, you know, having Old Man Logan, that's sort of interesting. I'll see where that goes. Having, Miracle Girl or whatever this fucking bitch's name is.
Prestige?
Scott, yeah, Prestige. Scott and Phoenix's, whatever her name is, Jean Grey's kid,
Mm-hmm.
being on the team. I didn't even know that was her. I thought she died in Avengers vs. X-Men, honestly.
I didn't even know she was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got Nightcrawler and Colossus and Storm. I don't know. I'm excited. I think this team's going to be interesting. I'm probably also going to read X-Men Blue, but, you know, maybe I'll find one that I really like more than the other, and I'll stick with that.
So, would you recommend this book?
I mean, you already read it, but...
To, you know, just in case anyone's watching.
Yeah, you know how the NSA is. I guess, yeah. I think first you need to be reading. You probably need to pick up X-Men Prime and X-Men Gold, and you might want to pick up X-Men Blue too, because you might enjoy that team more than you enjoy this team.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's about it for this comic book.
Yeah. So where are you at in this game? Still.
Oh, so I found out that you can't get around this kid, so I'm gonna look for a sword and fucking kill him.
This game is like for kids.
I mean, yeah, but he's an annoying brat. Yeah.
All right, man.
Just you fucking wait, kid. You'll get what's coming.
Could it be? Is Dino back? Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the new show. Me and my friend Jurgen and a few other people are working on some new content for you guys, and this isn't the only thing I'm making. You guys can check out my secret podcast over there. You guys can check out some of the old videos I've made, and we're going to be looking to make 2 videos a week here on the channel from now on. I'm thinking either Wednesday and Saturday, or I might go Tuesday and Thursday. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but hopefully you guys can stick with me as I bring this channel back from the dead for the 23rd time. Can I do it? Probably not. Maybe some of you guys will believe in me. I don't know. I don't deserve it. But anybody who watches these videos, thank you. I just need this outlet, you know, to speak my mind about comic books, speak my mind about shitty video games that I play, speak my mind about all this bullshit. And also feel free to make fun of me in the comment section for wearing a tie-dye shirt.